Okay, so what we'd like to do is just walk you through the rent to try, hire to buy rental agreements. We're going to go through in this particular video just the payment and rental calculator. So in other words, what rental do we determine for the first 12 months of this particular agreement, followed by a 24-month hire purchase agreement, and obviously the payments all the way through are going to be the same. Different profit levels, which we'll have a look at in a minute, but generally the actual instalments and terms will all be set right from the beginning. Now this is the actual rental agreement itself, so you can have your own logo just at the top if you want, and we're going to walk you through all of this and all of the details, all the terms and conditions separately in another video. So you'll see that on the PromptPay YouTube channel, so just click on it and you can have a little look and see how all of that works. So if we actually go, there's different little macros on here. So there's standing order mandate, so you can see here all the information that you can fill out so that you get your payments. The actual payments themselves, though, are calculated through this little tab. So we give that a click and it's really straightforward. You've got literally a couple of three white boxes here, and very similar just in the bottom left hand side here for the calculators for the hire purchase agreement. Now the way that this proposition works in effect is that you might very well have a customer that's interested in buying a car that's roughly, £4,200, something along those lines, but that might have a standing value of say £3,000. Well, if they can't get credit, there's two choices. You can lend it yourself, which is what an awful lot of people are doing, and it's what PromptPay is all about. You can lend your own money, make a very, very substantial income from that, because of course you're benefiting from the interest. But to take quite a considerable element of risk away without falling foul of the sort of regulatory obligations that we absolutely must stick to, we actually start it off as a rental agreement. And if the customer proves themselves over 3, 6, 9 or 12 months, whatever it is that you want to set them for, we can run that for that period, for that 6 months, for that 12 months, and then flip them into a hire purchase agreement, and that's obviously where it becomes very beneficial for us. So if we were going to flip them into a hire purchase agreement for the same as their rental period, we would absolutely need to know, well, what's the standing value of this car going to be in say 12 months time? Well, let's for argument's sake, just say, well, look, if the current SIV of this £4,600 car is 3,000. I don't know, in a year's time, let's just say, for example, it's 1,500. Oops, let's go 1,500. Just pop that in. The rental profit, well, let's say we want to see ourselves just gross profit here. We'll talk about the VAT in a minute. 1,200. We definitely want to have a little arrangement fee in there at 195, and we're going to do this rental term in total for say 12 months. That means that the actual rental itself is going to be £225, about £52 per week. So what it's actually calculated over here is, well, what's the sort of gross profit on that, excluding the VAT? Well, that 1,200 and the 195 and the actual rental itself, this 225 over here, are all they're VATable. So if we're going to tell the customer that that's what they're going to pay, then we must make sure that we pay the VAT on that. So in effect, that would reduce our profit to about £750. And likewise, the 195 would drop down to 163, meaning we'd make about £900. But of course, we are making that purely that £900. The actual depreciation the customer is paying for within that 225 just there. So let's say they're really good customers and they make their rentals on time and they're happy with the car and want to run it for 2 more years and then get to keep it, get themselves on the old payment ladder. Then all we need to do is just to complete the secondary hiring period, well, I should say hire purchase agreement. So it has here enter payment term. Well, we said to the customer, you do 12 months and keep your payments on time. All you need to do is another 24, so let's pop that in, making a total of 36, and then you get to keep the car. So let's put in a flat rate of say 25. We're going to pop in another little arrangement fee there at 195, and you can see here it's automatically calculated what the balance financed would need to be based on the 225 that we've got here. So it automatically copies these over. It's reverse calced what the balance funded would be based on that flat rate there. So if I was to change that flat rate up to 30, it would alter the balance finance, and likewise, but then it's increasing the interest. So bear that in mind as well. But we'll leave it at 25 just for the minute. The standing value here, this 1500, it's actually taken that from our projected standing value just at the top here. Okay, so as long as we know what these numbers are, the maths will take care of themselves and tell you what profit you're going to make here at the bottom. So, you know, if it doesn't work out for you, don't do it. Simple as, but to be fair, they nearly always work out. So we've got here a balance financed of 3,600, a standing value of 1,500. So in effect, that becomes the sale price, that becomes the stand-in. The difference between these two, less VAT, becomes our chassis profit there at 1,750. And then, of course, we've got our loan income. So that would be 24 payments of 225 minus the balance funded. So that gives us £1,800 worth of interest. It's a little bit more. If you add these two up, you'll see it's come to a little bit more, because obviously we've got that arrangement fee built into here, but we've taken the VAT out to make it truthful. So those next 2 years, based on a £1,500 stand-in value vehicle, bear in mind we've already made £900, would actually yield another £3,712 in terms of profit. So you can see here there's some really, really good returns. This little blue box over here is just for your convenience, really. I mean, if, for example, you were kind of looking or wanted to talk to a customer about, well, roughly what would the payments be on a particular car in your stock. Well, let's say you had a 4,000, £200 car in stock, and you wanted to finance that, or a customer did for say 3 years, and you wanted to charge 30% as a flat rate, then it will tell you typically there what your monthly in payment would work out at. So it just sort of helps you really to sort of do the maths up here and sort of think, well, look, what's my current SIV, what's my projected standing value, how much profit do I want to make? And then this is really the secondary hiring period, which is where you make the most of your money. So this is entirely up to you. So if for example, you had a £3,000 car, and I know you wanted to charge 25% flat, agreement term, let's say you want to do that for 24 months at 25% flat, then that's, again, because we've gone for a shorter period, works out at 187. So again, you can just roll all those into an HP agreement. But once you've actually got your rental amount, this 225, you would then transfer that over to the agreement and start to complete this. And what we'll do in our second video is just talk you through how this is completed and how the customer gets its sites. Other than that, thank you for watching.